And I guess I'm all by myself. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Will Reads for season 9, episode 10. Ian is running late. He'll be here in about 1 or 2 minutes. He was driving, so he'll be here. And Chris was just making tea or coffee before we got started. And I guess his wife, I heard clinking of plates. So I'm guessing Chris will be back a little bit, but I guess I'll go right into a few announcements as we're waiting. No new patrons this week. As far as other things in the Cosmere Reads, we are doing a live reaction tomorrow night at 9 p.m. to a chapter for the Cosmere Reads. You do have to be a patron of them, of that podcast to get that. The first one, we're just doing it to all patrons. After that, it will be for certain tiers. But in case you guys want to come check it out, you can sign up for 1 month and leave. That's fine. But yeah, it'll be fun. They're great chapters we're going to be doing. So that's coming up. Wada Holiday, the live stream that Malkier Talks puts on every year. It's a charity stream, 24 hours on December 2nd. We have the 10 p.m. slot Eastern time. So we'll be doing Wada Fortune. And it's going to be hopefully all of the Will Reads and all of the Cosmere Reads. So it's going to be Ian, Chris, Alondo, and Will duking it out on Wada Fortune for an hour for charity. It's going to have a little bit different rules. Like I think for Val, some people have to donate to the charity. And the charities they are supporting are SAG, the Screen Actors Guild, I guess charity to help out the actors that needed money during the strike. I know the strike's over, but a lot of those actors, especially the bit workers and the smaller paid actors, really struggled during that. And then also the Light Weaving Foundation of Brandon Sanderson. So those are the two charities, that particular one. December 2nd, Chris, mark your calendar, 10 p.m.
December 2nd, 10 p.m.
Yeah, you're going to be on live. So, yeah.
Oh, here?
No, Malker Talks. For a charity stream. Yeah.
Okay.
Does that work for you? Okay, cool. So Chris is coming. Yay. And as I said, Ian would be here. So here he is.
Hey, beautiful. You were right. I'll just say it now and be done with it. Don't bring it up again.
I win some, I lose some.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and then I think that's it for announcements. So perfect timing, Ian. As far as personal life goes, my daughter's birthday is next week, and then we have Thanksgiving. So that's coming up fast and in a hurry. Mm-hmm. I did send Ian an awesome meme the other day, or send Ian and Chris the meme, which was perfectly timed for Ian. So I did enjoy that. It's stop wondering if you're good enough. You're not.
You're not.
All right. Well, I'm going to jump in and at least tell the story because this is all I have for personal life. You haven't told this whole thing yet, right? Okay. So absolutely perfect. Y'all, I've shared with y'all, I've been going to therapy. My therapist is awesome. I was in a kind of a funk when I went this time. We did an airing of grievances, which she participated in. It was hilarious. Anyways, and I go to my car and, she helped a little bit, but I'm still a little mopey. And I open my phone and that meme is the first thing I saw. I was like, ooh, message from Alan and Chris. It said, stop wondering if you're good enough. You're not. And I died fucking laughing. As we get older, we don't have those belly laugh moments that often, right? And I'm by myself dying laughing. Well, apparently my therapist saw this through the window and she was so excited after everything we just talked about. So she called me. And she was like, hey, look, I didn't mean to be like snooping, but I saw you got in your car and like, I figured you got some good news or something. You just seemed so joyful. What was it? So I shared with her the meme and there was this silence. She was like, and this guy's your friend? I was like, yeah. I was like, it's perfect. I'm like, what do you mean you don't get it? She's like, I mean, maybe that's something we could talk about. Like,
your choice of friends.
Yeah. I was like, I think that shit's hilarious. That was more uplifting than the last hour and a half that we had. I mean, I didn't say that part.
That's what I'm here for.
It was so good. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. So
but we're sad but true.
Yeah. But we are in full planning mode for a 4-year-old birthday party, and then we're hosting Thanksgiving this year. So yeah.
So am I.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got my sister and mom very nervous because I keep asking them how you microwave a turkey. And they're like, shut up. You at least have an oven, right? And I'm like, I mean, I got this. I haven't tried to light it yet. They're like, what do you mean light it? I'm like, yeah, it's this really old one. You got to put wood in there. But yeah,
Therapy topic, Alan.
I am not talking about you in therapy. That just, she would not understand.
How much time and how much you have to pay here for that session?
Yeah, right.
Oof.
You're just gonna get a bill in the mail. Be like, Alan, you got diagnosed third party. Sorry,
Third party.
but you're also on a watch list. She said I was in a safe space. I didn't know what happened. Anywho,
Yeah, there you go.
sorry. I keep hijacking your personal life. What else you got that I could talk about?
That's okay. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have much. I mean, this weekend, see, I had to watch the kids. I can't remember why. My wife had something. I can't remember what she had, but she was gone for a lot of the day, and I had to take care of the kids. So, but now I can't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. It's when you get old, you don't remember these things. I just know I was on kid duty a lot, so I spent a lot of time with kids. I mean, they got to play.
That's always fun.
And build things, and yeah, it was fun.
Alan, you see what Kate posted in chat? You could put that.
What was
one
that?
up.
You could ask for couples therapy. I'd be like, oh, that'd be great.
Look, the VA's paying for this. It's free.
Is it? No, but is it the VA hospital?
No. It's
Okay. 'cause I'm
community
like,
care.
okay,
No, the lady's
okay.
pretty cool.
He's like, I'm not allowed to go there. I got.
No, I work there, so
Right.
I
We
don't
wouldn't be
wanna
able to
walk
have
in.
fun with it.
Yeah, I would walk in and like see my coworkers and like, what are you doing?
Right.
You don't worry about it. Anyway, so fun times.
Couples therapy. That would be my answer.
Yeah, couples therapy. Yeah, this is my +1 to the Christmas party. Wouldn't
Just
that be great?
go in holding hands. She's like, oh my gosh, is this your new partner? And I'll just be like, ew, no. What the fuck's wrong with you?
So for the
Slap him on
company
the ass. And
for the company Christmas party, my boss bought or paid for my wife and I to have hotels rooms at the place where the Christmas party is. That way we can have watch kids and everything like that, which I thought was awesome because we don't ever get a night without kids. So I was like, thanks. That's an awesome Christmas gift, actually, because when you have young kids, getting away is amazing. But wouldn't it be awesome if I just told my wife that she's not allowed to come and me and you go, and then my boss is like, I paid for a room for you too.
we would have such a good time.
You have +1.
As you introduce me and he's like opens his mouth to ask a question, I just go, shh.
And play with his lips.
Yeah. Take his drink from his hand, chug it, smash it on the ground. Let's get this party started.
Always good times. How about you, Chris? You went to a basketball game. That's what we're recording on a different night, right?
I did. Thanks for the flexibility, guys.
Yeah.
Went and saw the Hornets play against the Heat, and I thought for sure it'd be a massacre. It was actually a really decent game. Like I've come to realize that nowadays people don't play defense. Period. Like
it's all offense in NBA.
Yeah, I mean Miami kind of played defense, and then there's a rookie on Charlotte's side that definitely hustled. So I appreciate defense. That's what I did whenever I played right ball and everything. Yeah, you could dump the ball off to me, and yes, I'm under the rim. I'm gonna score. That's just the end of it. But
might be too soon. At least not deadly as hockey. I don't know if you might be too soon.
Oh, yeah,
too soon. Yeah, that was rough.
I want to see the replay.
I don't.
They call it murder.
Yeah, he got arrested today, I think, or yesterday.
Yeah.
Really?
I never saw the video, but some of the comments on it from people that say they saw it said it looked very intentional.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he got arrested on manslaughter.
I definitely have kind of like purposely not looked at that because I'm like, it's
very sad.
It just sounds
very
horrible.
Sad. Yeah. Very, very sad. I mean, I remember when I was a kid going to like minor league hockey games and like you'd see some brutal stuff like that.
Oh yeah, seeing youth hockey games and stuff.
Even Admirals games, which is like minor league hockey. I mean, you'd see some pretty brutal stuff. I mean, I saw one guy get frustrated and he was like skating full speed, and the guy put a stick like in the blade, like under between the blade and the blade, and like flipped the guy up like around, laying on his head. Looked like he might have broke his neck, and I was like, I mean, of course, he got a penalty for it, but still, it's just brutal. Like I'm like, it's a foul.
My ex-wife's youngest brother got half his pointer finger cut off by an ice skate. Yeah,
Ice skating.
I didn't
That's
really
why,
like him, so I was like, everybody else was like, oh, and I was like,
Yeah.
That's why I don't do the whole ice skating thing. Like I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm all right. Solid ground, perfectly fine by me.
Speaking of sports, since we never talk about sports, did you see about the high school football game, Ian? Did you hear about the?
oh yeah, 104
Oh
to nothing.
my god! What were they thinking? Anybody
kids-
from the area knows better.
It made national news. So our local, so Newport News and Hampton high schools in Virginia is some of the. There are a lot of
50% of all NFL players come
players.
from.
Yeah, it's
there's
insane how
good
many
talent.
how many NFL players come from our school systems. I mean, it's I can list goes on and on.
The districts
But-
are all different than when we played, though.
Yeah,
And the way they do the playoffs is very different. So, like
Mhm.
a 1-9 team
right.
made the playoffs, which is a bad idea, anyways, because in the
Yep.
first round, that team's going against the best team. Best goes
Right.
against the worst, right? Truly, kids could have got really hurt in that game.
Yeah, it was a pretty dumb
Was it-
decision.
It was 80 something to nothing at halftime, and they were considering calling the game off. But Jamestown, I guess, had pride, and they're like, "No, we'll finish
we
it."
Finished it out. So it was 104 to nothing. I mean, the FIBA's entire season I think Warwick scored a safety on them the entire. So they had 2 points scored against them the entire season.
Yeah, and this isn't even their best team in like the last 5 years. They're a step down from last year. They lost a lot of good seniors, and they're still dominant. So
Yeah. Anyway,
my kids go to War Hill, which is like the number 2 seed in that bracket. And they're like, we got a shot. I'm like,
No,
you
you
play
don't.
Phoebus. They're like, we got a shot. They're like, we're undefeated. I was like, because you haven't played Phoebus yet. Like, what are you not understanding here? Let me take you to Darling Stadium on a Friday night, and then
You'll understand.
and while you're there, keep your mouth shut, all right?
Yeah.
Okay? And don't wear your
It's
school
like
colors.
these boys are playing to play on Sunday.
Right. They try to put food on the table. Y'all are just out there having a good time. Like, ooh, nice pass, Thomas. No, fuck that. That ain't gonna happen in Darling Stadium.
yeah.
But anyways, yeah, good luck to them.
Yeah. I'm sure they win states again. Yeah. But anyway, so fun times. Anything else personal life wise before we jump into the book?
I went to Renaissance Fair.
Oh, you went to a Renaissance Fair. That's
I did Renaissance
cool.
Fair. It was pretty
Did you dress
dope.
up?
Yes, I did.
Cool.
Put my
What'd you get,
kilt
guys?
on and everything. I
Ooh,
threw my kilt
nice.
on, threw a nice little blouse on, and
Yeah.
some boots.
That'd be
They
cool.
wouldn't let me bring my axe in, so
Oh, yeah.
I think
They
Renaissance Fair would be cool, but I think it would be much cooler going to one with you. Because I'm just
fun.
picturing you like taking it serious, getting giggly, like excited about some of the stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
we have so much fun.
getting in character in some parts, and
Yes,
because some people get in character in conversations with you and just playing along with it and stuff. And
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
we
chainmail bikini.
we have one around here, but it's not that big. But I would love to get like one of the large ones. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, the one in Maryland, I think. Yeah, the one in Maryland's
Yeah.
pretty big. Yeah, it's huge.
Chris was wearing a
One thing.
chainmail bikini.
Yes.
Yes, he was.
I'd go for that.
Shh! Don't spoil our Jordan Con ideas for the costume contest.
Ooh.
I would go to that.
The costume contest.
Mhm. Maybe very
Anyways.
little.
Yeah. So you guys ready to talk about some Wheel of Time
Sure.
or something?
Something.
Or something. So what
Again.
work again?
I'll say it now. You
Okay.
were right. I'll leave
You know
it
what's
alone.
bad? I've done these chapters a couple times, listened to them, but I don't even know what the heck you're talking about.
What?
I don't even know.
Did you miss it? I know it was so quick when they said it. There's a couple really, really good things in here that just kind of happened really, really quick.
All right, you're going to have to point it out to me when we get there. the good things, that is.
Did you catch the guy that slides in and out?
Hmm.
Are you talking about the Domadrid thing?
That was one of them. That's one of the things.
Mhm.
That one I felt pretty good on.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's go.
Okay. Chapter 20.
Maybe I'll have an
Our
aha moment.
journey.
Questions of treason. So we're start above the attic in the Tarson Palace, and it's a couple sold them, inspecting some demone. So you got Bethema and Rena, or in Bethema's point of view. Bethamine's point of view. yeah, and Bethamine is examining Teslin's kennel and suspecting that she's plotting to run away and wants to double her training. So, unlike in the TV show, Rena does not die in the books. She's still very much alive. Yeah.
I mean, so in the stopping the kennel, you kind of get a feel for what it is that they really are angling for. And of course, that's just to completely rewrite the identity of the Suldam.
You mean Damane?
Or Damane, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say I always mix that up. It is always going to happen. So anyway, the simple, like bringing hard candies as treats, patting them on the head, making notations as you go through, like this is worse than like soldiering or being a soldier and then going through and reviewing those individuals. No, this is straight up, you are my pet, and I want to make sure that you understand that when you do good, you get treated right. When you do bad, you get treated wrong.
It's not just the conditioning of the channelers, it's the conditioning of the handlers and the culture around it. In order to treat human beings like less than human beings, you have to truly convince yourself they are less than human beings.
Mm-hmm.
We can give a bazillion examples of where even in the U.S. and the U.S. military, we've done that in many wars in order, just for the soldiers to be able to handle it, to be able to do what it is they were doing. They thought the enemy was less than human, and hence the, name calling
brutality.
And yeah. I'm not justifying it.
What happens when you're more human than human?
More human than the human man. They
more
specify.
Human.
And then you have the kind of like the flashbacks that she's having to Rena and Seda. Seda, is that how you pronounce this? So this is the person that like saw the two people with the Suldam.
Mm-hmm. They saw them with the collar. Yeah, they're collared.
And reacting to it. Not just, they're collared. They're reacting to the collar.
Right.
So it's kind of rocked her world. So she's trying to kind of lay low and just do her job to the best of her ability.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just like her mindset. I'm going to inspect and I'm going to make sure I take good notes. And if she makes notes of the sneaky people, she makes notes of the people that are finally coming around. And then she makes note of the people who pretending like they're coming around, but are really being sneaky and, doubling down.
In these chapters, isn't she also the one that thinks about how she rose 10 stations in a short amount of time? Or is that somebody else?
Somebody else.
I think that was Egeanin.
Okay, I might be confusing. We'll get.
That's the one that hung out with Nynaeve and
right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, she's next chapter.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Next chapter. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, Bethamine had found Rena and Seda collared in Falma, and of course she's really worried about the whole fact that Suldam are potentially Marath Damane, and that might destroy the entire empire itself. I mean, that literally the foundation of their entire culture is based around gotten this system, and the fact that all the handlers could be Damane is really just terrifying to her. Yeah.
And so she's just being quiet about it. It's probably the smartest move for her is just to pretend like it never happened.
Right.
If it were me, I guess I would never have even like helped them out. I would have just like watched them struggle. But again, she set them free knowing that if she didn't and somebody else discovered it, it may create a bigger issue. So
she did it for the empire, for the empress. Make sure that
for herself.
I mean, think about our system of government. Let's say you went to some political rally or whatever, and like towards the end of it, you're like, oh man, I gotta go to the bathroom. So you go in the back hallways, you get lost, whatever, you find a bathroom, you go and you come out. Turns out you're in the private section for the politicians, and one of them is changing out of their human skin, and they take it off, and they're a bunch of fucking reptiles, right? Okay. Who would you tell? No.
So Ian's just been canceled because we can't. Dude, the reptilian overlords will hear us. They'll
Yeah,
come
I'm
us
just
down
saying
there.
there's a certain amount of dirt you might find about a certain level of people that are in positions of influence or whatever. But if it rocks the culture, if it rocks the system so much, you're in far more danger running outside saying it. One, people won't believe you, but then the people that know what you're saying is true, you've now become a target. Like people that want to protect their power, yeah, they ain't gonna let you be.
Sorry, reptilian overlords. This is all hypothetical.
Hypothetically speaking.
So after she finishes her duties up there, anything from all this before we go back to her going back to the inn and running into a seeker of truth, seeker for truth?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, she comes back and waiting for her in her room is one of the seekers. We learned a little bit about seekers here. I mean, we've heard that term before, but we didn't really know too much about it. Pretty much they're hired.
They're the law.
Yeah, pretty much. And they're like kind of like the Secret Service or like CIA. They go around incognito and but at the same time on the open. I mean, they're Men in Black.
Before we go
this
this far, do we think Tessie's gonna escape?
Do you think Teslin is gonna escape?
Tessie. Is that Tessie?
Yeah. Tessie, yeah. Do we think so? I mean, she met with Matt last chapter about.
I think she's gonna get away.
Okay.
And Matt's gonna be the one. We're gonna see how this all ties in. This is gonna work.
Okay.
She's gonna get away.
No, Ian.
With that.
Good luck.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. So yeah.
What are the 9 moons? That's all I gotta say. There's no way they graze past each other and then go different paths for another 3 books.
Yeah, I think so. I think at least 2 more books.
I don't think they brush him by. I think they're about to.
Nah, nope. Not gonna happen.
All right. Well, like I said, we learned a lot about the Seekers for the Truth. They can take down anyone besides the Emperor, pretty much. Even the 9 Moons, they could call it questioning. Although she even points out that if she would, they better have damn good reason to, because otherwise it's their death sentence if they're wrong on that one. But they could. They're pretty much like you said, the law, but all powerful. And she's worried. Why is this person here? Am I caught? Did I know some secrets? And am I going to be taken down? Is that what this is going on? So her first reaction is, oh shit.
And we know he knows about her stuff, but he has a greater purpose. He wants to take down one bigger than her.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, just have a seat. There's no reason to be nervous. Go get us a drink. Get us a drink real quick.
Ain't gonna help.
Yeah, pour that.
That's like me anytime I run into a cop. I ran into one. There was one on the trail by my house the other day when I came off and I was running, and I just stopped the timer on my thing, was checking my pace. And he starts walking over to me. And I had this oh shit look on my face. And he's like, hey, I was just curious if you had the time. I left my phone in the car. And I was like, it's blah, 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 blah. And I was like, phew. He's like, would you think I was coming after you? I was like, yeah, man, I just kind of figured you're going to arrest me. So now he's like, well, why, you got warrants or something? I'm like, no. It's just, believe it or not, there's been multiple times in my life where I've just been chilling, doing nothing wrong, and then got cuffed. So.
Or you know what? No.
Yeah. What was the first time?
Oh man. Well, there's that time. What was that time in Williamsburg where we got threatened to be arrested? We had a bonfire going on the beach. And
yeah.
The cop. And apparently, you're not allowed to have a bonfire there, even though there's no signs posted.
Right. I didn't know.
And I didn't know that was a rule. No one said that was a rule. The cops.
Was that Jamestown that you did that?
Yeah.
Jamestown Beach. Yeah. I
So
think there's signs now. Back then there wasn't.
The historic section where it's run by federal and not state law.
Yeah. That's the one.
That's the one.
You mean the habitats that are national park and protected by?
Oh yeah, it was a national park police that came in.
Yeah.
It was a Fed. But
Doesn't negate that we did not know
They
you
both
couldn't do
have
that.
felonies.
Yes.
but no, it made it even worse. Is like we had bought Black and Milds because I don't know why we're smoking.
Because you're Newport News.
Good for Newport
cool.
News.
But we were smoking the actual Black and Mild. We didn't.
We were
do
actually
nothing
smoking
with
Black
it.
and Milds. We actually didn't pour it out and put weed in it. We were just, we were just smoking Black and Milds. And
They smell good.
Yeah, they do smell good. So he came around, saw the bonfire, then he saw the Black and Milds, and he's like, it immediately took him. He's like, what are these? And I was like, cigars, kind of, sort of, Black and Milds. And he's like, I know what the kids put in these things. He's like, you're gonna be under arrest for drugs. And I was like, on a federal property too. And I was like, no, I mean, seriously, you can test them. I mean, like, you're gonna waste your time, but like,
he did the whole thing. We had to like put our hands over our head one at a time, interlock our fingers. Then he'd grip them, and then he patted us all down like he was convinced he'd find something. But
yeah, he thought he got us.
I would have just lit it for him. It's really, really what he really wanted. He should have fired that bad boy up. Told him to stoke it.
He was acting a little nervous, so I wasn't trying to push any buttons there. What I was thinking is, I mean, I cared about the rest of the people in the group, but I also knew I could outrun them.
Yeah,
like I was like, I'm sitting there thinking I could get away, but then these guys.
It was a long walk from where we are to anywhere.
Right, and I didn't drive that night, so
because we're in Colonial Parkway.
Right.
So it's
damn. You had like all 3 strikes.
Yeah, we're at Jamestown Beach off Colonial Parkway. Yeah, we're in the middle of nowhere. I mean, it's a long hike.
You'd better off hitting the ferry and going over to.
True. Going over to Allight.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
Anyway,
cool. So he wants Bethamine to spy on Egeanin and Bayle Doman too, because thinks they're in cahoots with Aes Sedai.
Yeah,
I think Suroth might be involved as well, which is pretty high up. I mean, so asking her to go really above her pay grade and do the spy stuff, and if she gets caught, will not end well for her because
she flat out was like, I'm not supposed to do that. Like, that's against our traditions and our customs. And every time he mentions a thing that is against custom, he's just kind of flat, like, it is what it is. Figure it out.
You're gonna do this.
Yeah.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, she plays it really smart. Love it. She's like, yes, sir. Whatever you tell me to do, daddy.
Pass.
Yeah. And that's kind of how we end this chapter with that kind of order. Tells a little bit of his theories, about the murder of High Lord Turok and the incidents of Falma and how it all relates together and how they're all in cahoots.
He was kind of wrong about the Turok thing, but kind of way off. But
yeah, they're dealing with the information they have.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the other thing about it is what he says kind of, again, is law. So unless he's proven beyond a doubt that he's wrong, he's going to try to take all these people down.
Sure.
Yeah.
And getting this low-line person to do a lot of the work for him doesn't really put him at a lot of risk. He can throw her under the bus at any moment.
Correct. Have her removed in general.
We can have this person disappeared.
Yeah. So anything from all this before we move to chapter 21?
No.
Okay. Chapter 21, a matter of property. So we're in Egeanin's point of view.
She's laid out on the bed, sprawled out like Bayle Doman.
It do be Bayle Doman.
I didn't realize. Well, I guess I did realize. It's funny to think about this culture and their view on things, and Bayle Doman's like a real catch.
Why is that surprising?
He wasn't.
He's a strapping man. He's a ship captain. What's wrong with the ship captain?
The rough sailor look doesn't do it for you.
Doesn't do it.
When you have the rough sailor look, it does it for me. But otherwise, I only have eyes for one.
Fair enough.
No slight to Alan, but
it's okay. None taken. I know my. It's nothing. So Egeanin and Doman, they're arguing about allowing themselves to be previously captured, about handing over the male Idom.
which is a huge blow. So let's talk. Don't graze over that.
Okay.
Like we have the male Idom in the hands of what's her name again? You said it earlier. Surath.
Surath.
Yeah. Who like we know
small
wants to grab a hold of Rand and control him.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, well, she wants to marry him. Isn't she the one that wants to marry him?
No, that's Savannah.
That's Savannah. But
Although
anyway,
we might find out she wants to. Everybody.
Yeah.
I think everybody wants to marry Rand at some point. But anyway, she definitely wants control of him. And I mean, she wants a partnership of some sort. And she also wants control of the situation. And we know she's got more ambition than is healthy for a person in her place. So there's that. And the fact that Bayle was given that in like high confidence, they thought it would be protected, or really he thought it was going to be thrown to the bottom of the sea.
Right.
So, that's going to catch our people off guard when it does come back into play.
Yeah. So how do you think that played out? In my mind, like I quickly excused it. I bet you they were sailing and then a Shan-Chan ship was like overtaking them. They're going to get caught. I'm sure Bayle Doman's first instinct was, well, let's toss us overboard. And then the chick was probably like, no. As it stands right now, if we've got nothing to bargain with, they're going to kill us or worse. But like, if we have this is a way to work our way into a position where they are now.
To work, like she made herself into a highly honored position.
Right. So I'm not horribly
captain of the
mad at them for not getting rid of it. I think I could see scenarios where like maybe they had to, and that was their only chance. But obviously, in the grand scheme of the story, as readers, we're supposed to be nervous, like, oh no, they got it. Yeah. I'm sure our heroes will figure it out within a couple of books.
I mean, I think they've already started it. He's linked to all these women, so hopefully they can protect him from it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and this is when she starts talking about how proud she is about her advancement, how fast she's moved up the ranks, and wonders why
she's proud. Her father's proud.
Yeah, and she wonders why she was recalled after being left so long. I guess and in the lower ranks, and wonders why she's being promoted so fast. But yeah,
but she also, I mean, they knew with them retaking these lands. That there would be room for new blood and advancements and everything, so that like she considers that like it's not it's crazy, but you can make sense of it.
They also know she spent some time in the land away after Falma, and she was with people and has an understanding of them, and now she's got this new Bayle Doman that she owns, and also
right.
So he's really familiar. So it really was a good scenario for Surath to put her in that spot because it keeps her close. She's able to control her and also keeps her quiet because she initially was going to go back and kind of bust the can of worms open about everybody that has an Idom, no matter what end that it's on, can also channel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
now he's in charge of stuff and didn't do it. So
yeah. And then immediately Bayle Doman starts putting on his game, starts working that game, says, hey, if you were to free me, we could run away together, and go tie the knot, get hitched.
Yeah. And that wasn't even Bayle seriously means that Bayle has had his world rocked, and he is excited to be in the arms of a younger woman.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure he knows some places where he could drop anchor in a nice little cove that nobody can reach easily and stay away from all this.
Yeah.
Y'all might think living on a boat at anchor is the worst thing ever. But I'd gladly do it.
You started this podcast doing it.
I've come so far.
At least you don't have water dripping on you as you're recording.
How depressing would it be for me to say that I was happier then than I am now?
No, life's simpler when you live on a boat. That's for sure.
Simple. Yeah.
Yes.
I slept great.
Yeah, I did too. When I used to be at sea.
Especially at a marina where when the wind blows, it's not just your rigging clanging, it's everybody clanging and rocking and roll. That shit. Love it. Music to my ears.
Put you right to sleep. Yep. So yeah. But she wants to marry him, but also is concerned about, the status and everything. If she were even free him, what it would do to reputation and how far she's rose in the ranks. And I guess she's worried about herself.
Well, she did mention, like, if I free you, I have to take care of you. And that would drain the majority of her coffers. And then it would really determine how much he actually loves her too. I think there's some of that fear as well, because right now he's with her and it's almost out of convenience.
Right.
But at the same, he does love her. You can tell it, especially by the end of the book. But there's also that part of like convenience in there. So it's like,
all right,
I'll let you go. I might lose you completely. I'll let you go. I'll lose everything that I'm worth. Yes, I could then marry you, but would I want to?
Yeah. But all the discussion is interrupted because Bethamine comes in.
Knocking on my door.
Yeah. Who then we learned that Egeanin had previously collared. So Bethamine's been collared and freed before.
Yeah.
And she's terrified.
Can I talk to you real quick? Like just me and you? And then the old anything you could say in front of me, you could say in front of him.
And then it's like word vomit. Well, like she knows, he knows. The High Inquisitor, what is his name? What are they called again?
The Seeker of the Truth.
Yep, the Seekers of the Truth. They know
right
they're all after me. Like they want you, and they want me to get them. So she flat out. I like her tactic. She was honest. That's such a hard thing to be in this world. Honest.
Yeah.
For a minute, I thought she was going to try to manipulate the situation after talking to the Seeker, and she is to some extent. But at the end of the day, she's just flat out honest. Like the Seeker wants you, and if the Seeker gets me, I'm giving everything up. And the homegirl's like, yeah, well, if he gets me, I'm giving everything up too. So we're both on the hook for this one.
Yeah.
And you have Bayle in the back. I'll wring his throat. Arr. And I'll get some help to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and she reveals that that Seta and Retta also have been collared, but are now kept close to Sarath and never allowed to hold a leash again. So they're
Sarath is even playing with fire.
They all
I don't know why he wouldn't just go straight for Sarath and leave this other woman alone.
Yeah. So now we got a double spy going on. The Seeker says, okay, spy on them. And then Egeanin kind of flips the scripts back on Bethamine and says, all right, you're going to report to me daily now. So secret agent.
Nothing could go wrong here.
No, not
double agents never, ever have problems. Right?
So the side that's giving and gathering information that's aware they're a double agent is in the best position.
Sure.
But I would assume this Seeker is not stupid and probably also knows that.
Oh,
they know that he knows that they know.
Right.
That she knows.
But you would know that I would choose the cup in front of you because I'm not a stupid man. So, but having known that.
Exactly.
Inconceivable.
Yeah. And then she actually offers to free Doman. Doman gets offered his freedom.
And Doman takes the paper and burns it. He's like, you can't command me if you're going to free me.
Yep.
And you can't afford me if you free me. So
I expensive.
I don't care about any of this conversation. Let me be honest with you. I'm going through this going, oh boy. What does this all mean? And then he goes, but you do need a crew. And I saw this boy, Matt. And by the way, he hangs out with Tom. And I'm like, the band's getting back together. Here we go.
That's right.
He's a very useful person. I mean, he was on my boat once with this guy named Tom. They both are great. A little bit weird.
She's like, I know Tom. I trust Tom. Tom is a wily.
Tom is wily. I could see her doing the eyebrow, not just same as a wink. She probably knows Tom biblically.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's when I got super excited again.
Yeah. Which makes her super suspicious because about the Tom thing. So about more conspiracy. But Doman denies it.
She looks him in the eyes and she could tell that he was telling the truth.
Yeah. And so in this chapter of them going out or sending Doman out to go find Matt and Tom.
And Matt has been waiting for a boat to come his way.
So let's go through it now. So Matt has 3 women, some Aes Sedai, some Damane, a bunch of Damane. He has Egeanin, Tom, Julian, Bayle Doman, all trying to escape Abudar together without being noticed. At some point, like sneaking one person out's hard enough. People. But it's one of those things from logistics. You've done this kind of things
I mean, there's some borders that are easier to get across than others.
Sure, but the more you add, I mean,
it's gonna be what's her name's son that tips the scale.
Obviously, I mean, I can go walk north right now and freely walk across to Canada, and probably no one would even care.
Right.
Although
you'll run into a hunter before you run into like any official,
especially where you walk across that border. Yeah. It's a very, very open border.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if I'm going by Niagara Falls or New York, then it's probably a lot more. I mean, just a lot more checkpoints and stuff like that. But
yeah. I mean, I've always preferred moving in small groups, small teams. It's easy to keep track of it. Once you get to a certain size, it's like, okay, now we need to go all the way, and I want to be rolling in full up armored everything and be overwhelming.
Yeah. And as someone who has actually snuck into countries before and out of countries, it's not that hard to do. Especially by boat. Like Bayle Doman has a boat. Yeah. By boat, it's extremely easy to do. Like, I mean.
Yeah. 1 second you're at anchor and you pull up the anchor, now you're underway. And
you sail into a country, you have to go find them to let them know you're there. Like, there's no one checking you in. Like, they don't even know you're there. Like, you're like, hey, I'm here, by the way. Come check my papers. Otherwise, no one even know. I might have been in some countries illegally for a lot.
It just worked that way.
I didn't want to pay the bribes. It costs a lot of money to pay the customs officials to get in some countries. It's easier just to avoid them. All right.
Yeah, when they pick up the stamp and they're like $50, and you're like, I read on the website it was free. He sets the stamp down, leans back. $70. You're like, fuck.
The worst was Indonesia. We sailed into Indonesia, and I kid you not, we had 3 groups of customs officials come onto our boat. They were just basically, the guys would come out, they'd fine us, stamp our passport, and then they go and hand all their clothes, customs officials' clothes, to someone else in the village, and they'd come out to our boat and says, "Oh yeah, those were fake. We're the real guys, so you need to pay us now. Are you going to?" Like, it happened like 3 times. We're like, I don't want to call your bluff, but at the same time, like I don't know which one's the actual real group and which one's not. This is just kind of the racket you guys pull. But yeah, that's
So dude, that's the same mustard stain as the last 2 guys.
No, this is different people each time.
He's a white
outfit. Different group.
Same jacket.
Same jacket. Yeah, same jacket.
Same shirt with the mustard stain.
It's like, you got to be kidding me. I wish I just didn't call you guys and let you know we're here. Just stay in the country legally. But whatever. It is what it is.
Hey, nothing ever goes wrong when you try to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think this is gonna be successful? Them getting everybody out?
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think? You think
Matt is severing, and it's all gonna go the way it's supposed to go.
Okay.
If the next time we get to Matt, the dice start rolling in his head again, it could go either way.
True. Find a book with a map. Anything from this chapter before we move to the next chapter?
No, the next one looks like an inappropriate picture. Jordan loves this inappropriate pictures.
What are you talking about?
I have a map.
You have a map?
Yeah, there's a map.
Oh yeah. Oh okay. I don't have the book because Ian has my book. Well, I have the book up there. I just don't have it close by. This is Fires of Heaven. I was pulling out this map, which is the whole world map, because we're in Farmatting, which is I don't think we've been to this town. Chapter 22, out of thin air. Yeah, we haven't been to the city. Farmatting is an interesting place. So it's north of Ilion. Kind of east of Ligard and Merendi, like kind of north of Ilion and Tyr, kind of right there, south of Camelin. Interesting little place, interesting little town. But that's where Rand is, and we're Rand's point of view. So we're switching over to Rand. I know we wanted to talk about Rand.
This was kind of fun.
Yeah.
It was.
It was.
Rand's hunting.
He's hunting.
Little cat and mouse. Like who's...
Yeah.
Well, different people think they're hunting, but only one person is actually hunting.
Yeah, so Rand's hunting down Rochide, which is he was one of the Ashaman that
tried to kill Rand.
They try to kill Rand. So he sees him in Farmatting, and he's trying to hunt him down.
Not only that, he led them to Farmatting. So it's just stated, it's like Rand left little nuggets, and he didn't think that they would pick up on the nuggets so quickly. He's like, clearly they must have some help that are smarter than he, anticipated them.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's just one, and it's this guy that we know of, and then we find out later there's two. And he's kind of leading Rand on a wild goose chase for a little bit.
You got Luce there and ranting in his head too about how unimpressed.
We're gonna die. This is horrible.
This is a horrible idea. Yeah, bumps into
I wonder if Luce knows more about what's going on than Rand does as a whole. Because he always alludes to like being pulled into a trap. He always alludes to, the guy, there's a greater person there that they need to be worried about, or a greater evil. So we'll get there, but I feel like he can probably sense when Slayer is around.
Slayer.
Anyway,
I meant to make a Slayer clip for this. Yeah. So as he's going through Farmatting, also he bumps into an Aiel. It's one of the ones that abandoned kind of their seps, because after the Rand kind of told everybody about their history, a lot of them left and went to go try to do the Whale Leaf.
Yeah.
Not well.
Right. They don't have good mentors for that.
No. So wearing all bright green. They've gone to Farmatting. So yeah, he follows Rochide into an alley, and mentions that all throughout Farmatting there's all these posts that basically the guard there's watching the heavy streets all the times. It's pretty high surveilled city, but the alleys are a lot less regulated. So ducks into the alley, and Rand's like, perfect, I can get him now, and walks down until he follows the footsteps until he doesn't hear the footsteps anymore.
He's like, wait a second, those are my footsteps.
Yeah.
I'm only listening to myself. And then he hears a stone shuffle, and he's like, behind me, to the right, go.
Yeah. This first interaction, like, it's priceless though. I mean, you got the trope of the bad guy doing too much talking, and Rand moves in quick as he's trying to draw his sword, but moves in so fast that he's able to shove it back in. And as the guy tries to counter and do this in the other, you hear in Rand's mind what he's thinking. It's like, this guy doesn't even know he's already dead.
Yeah.
Doesn't even know. It's just a matter of me getting it done now. And I think he doesn't even tell him out loud, or was he thinking it, or did he tell him out loud that his mistake was his gloating?
Yeah. I don't know if he thinks it or says it.
If he said it out loud, that'd be funnier.
Yeah.
But I don't remember.
After he throat punches him, he hears an attack coming from behind, and it's his other friend, Kismet, and Rand ducks out of the way, and Kismet stabs Rochide. Just this comical scene, misses and stabs.
By the way, depending on the person,
a well-engineered miss.
Yeah, it depends on how they're set up here. Some people, as we know, don't really have necks. Some people, if it's a very fat neck, it might be harder to do. But if you have an exposed neck to the point where you could see their throat here, guys, if you see their Adam's apple, very effective to quick throat chop, or just a very direct straight line with your thumb. Just jam it in there, because you don't even have to catch it that hard, and they're not going to be able to breathe, talk, nothing for a while. And for anybody that's never really been hit like that, they're going to stop coming after you. So keep that in mind. That's an option. People always like, in the cartoons, kick them in the balls, and if you land one, that works. But that throat move is very easy, very quick. Yeah. So keep that in mind as you're walking late at night to your car in the parking garage and you hear footsteps and it gets a little sketchy.
If you do the chop, you have to say judo chop when you do it. Judo chop.
Right. Judy.
It's Judy,
like Judy.
Judy
It's a Judy chop.
Judy chop.
I got hit with a Judy chop once.
Yeah. I'm not asking follow-up questions. I saw that smile and no follow-up questions.
Yeah. So at this point, they hear the city guard coming as well. So they flee to avoid being captured. Bran throwing Roachhide's sword back down to the ground. Now that they're Oshaman and Rand's also Rand, do you guys know why they didn't channel?
They didn't want to bring attention to themselves.
Okay.
That was a question that I had. It was, why didn't they channel? I think part of it is not wanting to trigger like an alarm to let the watcher know that Rand is near.
Yeah, it could be that. Maybe is the location close to the place where the channeling was all effed up?
That was in Ibadar.
Yeah, it's pretty far away.
It's pretty far
away.
Well,
far enough away that maybe that's not it.
Yeah, Ibadar is really far away. I mean, it's like countries over. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe they're both getting super tainty and they don't want to get more tainty than they are.
Might be a Raffo type thing.
Yeah.
What do you think, Alan?
I know why.
What's your gut tell you here?
My gut tells me you'll find out when you read.
Which book?
When you read it, find out. I think it's this book. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it's the next couple chapters. But yeah. So switch to Kismet's point of view. Anything from this before we switch to?
She just essentially, or the replay of. One second, I lost my thought. I literally had a train of thought and I lost it.
Okay.
Train derailed. It was a neat little minor action scene. Which, I mean, honestly, we've needed, you've talked about how some people kind of complain about the slowness of some of these books coming up, but we've been getting some tasty bits here and there. I know this wasn't like a battle scene or anything, but it was still, I needed it as a reader. So it was good.
Yeah.
Well, it also, that's what I was thinking. It shows that Rand, A, is not paying as close attention as he thinks he is.
Right.
And B, they're still figuring out ways to get the drop on him.
Mm-hmm.
And then C, they're clearly not using the power at all, even though there's no reason for them not to use it at this point because they're in cahoots with the Dark Friends.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Oh.
So Kismet walks back to his rooms. He's annoyed that he let Roychoy talk for so long before taking actions because his orders.
He is walking back towards his room.
Right, he's walking back towards his room, and he's annoyed. He's thinking about how Roychoy talked too much, and the orders were to kill Rand. He had given the orders 3 times, and he talks about each one. Taim had told him to kill Rand. Demi Dread had come and told him to kill Rand, and even Moradin said, "Yeah, sure, go ahead and kill him."
Yeah, that'd be
cool. Yeah, whatever.
Moradin
less so than the other two, kind of, but more interested in what Rand had than what himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, as he's walking back,
that vitamin D.
So what do you think about this? 3 different orders. Taim trying to kill Rand now.
Is it Taim?
Now? Just now. You're saying that just now started?
Just now.
No.
Who's Taim?
Time who?
Exactly. Demon Dread. So you were right.
No, Demon Dread also told him. That was separate.
No.
Maybe he just
Taim.
decloaked himself and it was a separate meeting.
It wasn't separate. I thought he was one and
Yeah.
the same. Did I
No,
miss?
that was a separate meeting. Yeah. Separate meeting.
I missed.
It doesn't mean they're not the same.
You missed it.
Did I mess that up in my mind? In my
'Cause
mind,
I still
it
think
was
it's-
confirmation.
So Taim still has
Yes,
to be
Taim is the
forsaken or
dark.
forsaken like because the taint still exists. So he's been channeling for a while and powerfully and keep growing in power, and he's not been affected by the madness. There's only one way we know of that happening right now. Unless Taim is Semirog, and this is, but no, because he's able to teach and channel with these other male channelers. Rand would have noticed already if it was a female channeler. So it has to be a male channeler, not being affected by the taint. So that's somebody channeling. What is it? The true source or one source or
The true source.
the true source?
Yeah, the true source.
But would Rand notice the difference between the true source and the
He
male
would be able to
side of
sense
channel?
he would be able to
And he definitely
sense the
senses time. So now I'm confused.
You
as to
got
why Taim isn't
Morden,
going crazy.
Demon Dread, and Mahal. So he's getting 3 separate orders.
Yeah, the
are all-
Mahale is Taim.
This time.
Oh, so we can casually say that those two are one and the same, but
And then Morden as well. But Morden didn't really care if he killed Rand. He just wants Rand's stuff.
But we know that Demon Dread and Taim are in cahoots.
Yes. Kind of. Maybe.
Well, it says by anyone, even the Mahale, as if he didn't know of Taim's orders.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
I don't know. And then still later, Morden steps in and gives orders.
Yep. And then while he's distracted, it doesn't really matter because he dies in the next scene anyway. Gets
It's like
stabbed.
sticky, stabby.
Yeah. Who
Not
stabs
only
him?
that, it was poison. Oh, we know that was Slayer.
Oh, was it? Oh, you think it was Slayer? Interesting.
Yes,
Okay.
Slayer.
it was Slayer.
Okay. Interesting. I thought you put two and two together on that one. Okay, cool. Sure. Yes. So Slayer.
Hold on. Wait a second. Sorry. Didn't we already say, like, wasn't that our thought? That way back when we were first introduced to Mel and Luke.
Yeah.
Did we
He's
say
talking Luke.
Luke
That's
Slayer?
no, he's talking Luke is Slayer. Yes, that is Slayer. Yes.
Yeah. And so he did it. I mean, it says it at the end. Wiping the daggers clean on the coverlet, he resheathed them with as much care as he had drawn them. He had been given many gifts, but immunity to poison or any other weapon was not amongst them. Then he took a short candle from his pocket and blew away enough ash from the bent coal. So yeah, he said
But
he
does it
always
say-
liked.
It doesn't
Yeah.
say who it was.
Yeah,
Was
it says Luke
Oh, it says Luke.
towards the end of it. Yeah.
Huh. I don't have the book in front of me.
Hold on a second. It says,
Oh, towards the end of the
His-
chapter? Or
yeah,
towards the end of the
his-
section? Okay.
hold on. This is where I got really his patron of the. It's at the end of the chapter. His patron.
Okay.
of
I
Monmouth-
wasn't there yet. I thought you were talking about
Oh,
right after the
okay.
scene. Okay. I thought you were talking about the description that they gave about the knife.
No, because this is where
Okay.
I figured it out. This is where the one and one kind of come together,
Okay.
and the one is the same.
Yes. So when we get to that, we will talk all about Luke
Okay,
Slayer.
we'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Okay, we'll go back for the sake of continuity.
Yeah.
in
So
the
what
reading.
does it say about the actual death?
He's mine. That's it. He just whispers to him.
Yeah, he's mine. Yeah.
He's mine.
Right.
Stab. And then the hand just goes black.
Right.
At first, I thought it was more death. But I was like, oh, well, I mean, it went black. It died instantly. Like,
Okay.
could it be that dagger?
Okay.
And then right away, at the end of the chapter, it tells me I was wrong about that thought process. But I'm not mad at it.
Sure.
Get us back on track, Al.
So we get back to Rand's point of view after this. Rand returns to the Crown of Murado's Inn and takes a man upstairs to talk along with 98.
Wife, will you please come upstairs with me?
Yeah.
I bet you he wants you to spank him.
Yeah.
You should spank him daily anyway.
Yeah. And he tells them about, that he killed one of the men. And Min's actually concerned about this, that he, through the bond, he didn't feel anything about killing, felt nothing from when he did. Like, no emotion came through the bond at all. It's kind of scares Min.
I will have to say, he justified it very well. He's like, I just need to be done.
Yep.
She's like, what? He tried to kill me?
He's a cold-hearted killer.
I got him first. Like, he's not going to get me. That's the end. I'm going to protect all of us. She's like, but you don't feel any way about it? It was just a task. It was a chore.
Yep.
That's how it sounded to me. But then, of course, there's a sense of urgency. Like, if they knew where we were, then the rest of them may know. They could show up within the next 10 minutes. So let's just get out of here. Let's go. We need to find somewhere else to stay.
Got to keep moving.
Lan totally agreed right away because he told Lan first. Lan had already started packing.
Yeah.
So. Lan knows how this works. Remember, Lan's been, I won't say on the run, but he's been very mobile with Moraine for a long time before they even found the kids in the village. So this is his lifestyle. He's always, they've been ready for it. All right, business done here. We got to pack up and go without anybody seeing us. Bet.
I mean, he could even vanish into thin air if he wants to.
Yeah, we still haven't touched again on whether or not he can actually chase these things into the shadows, like for real, for real.
Yeah.
Remember when he first fought a fade, or there was a fade there, and when the fade
shimmered,
there was some thought he had about whether or not he should chase it into the shadows or something, but it seems like he chose not to.
Yeah, I remember. That's why I brought it up.
So, what kind of special power he got?
Anyway, Alan.
Anyways, so then we switched to Esau and Luke, Slayer. So
Slayer is 2 people?
We knew that already from Shadow Rising. When he was in Telerod and reality, he was Slayer. And then when he was out, he's Lord Luke because he got the arrow from Perrin. Or
he makes a comment, I'm going to kill my nephew. Is he talking about Rand? He said, I'm going to kill my nephew and the witch. So I feel like he's talking about Rand. And I was like, in between, is he talking about Rand and Min? Or is he talking about Lan?
So quick review, because we went through all this. We found out who Rand's mom was, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys remember that?
Your mom.
So she was to be the queen of Camelin and ran off.
Right.
Yes.
And then Lord Luke was...
Luke was her brother who disappeared.
Her brother, yeah.
Her brother who disappeared into the blight around the same time.
So he is the uncle. Right. But I got confused from
But the flip side is someone related to Lan, right? Or somebody that looks like Lan.
Esau was Lan's brother who also went to the blight and disappeared.
Right. Not brother.
Lan's cousin. Or uncle. Cousin or uncle.
Well, see, that's why it makes a difference if it's uncle.
Hold on. Esau, he's the son of Lane Madragon. He's a cousin, only cousin Lan. Only the only cousin.
Messed up, Chris. They all cousins in the blight. That's my cousin.
So like they literally like switch people based on what's going on, which I think is really interesting. And he shifts also between the dream world and the waking world with no problem. And I feel like there's one more character that's been doing that recently, but just not as seamlessly.
Who's that?
Perrin.
Who's Perrin?
Okay.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So I want to know the connection between their powers, if there is one.
Interesting.
Like, I know that Slayer hunts wolves.
Yeah.
But is there a connection there that we also missed out on? Like,
maybe whatever happened to them is what happened to Moraine and Lanfear, and when they finally come back, they're going to be like, two souls in one body sort of thing, dueling for who exists in which reality.
Oh, that would be
like
awesome.
The waking or the dreaming world.
That's crazy. Cool. So, yeah, and as he jumps out of the Teleron, he comes back as Luke, and he kills 2 people that are in the room with him, and it makes him think back to the memories of 2 Aes Sedai he killed in Stone of Tyr, along with the Gray Man that he killed in the tower.
He's been getting all sorts of just orders to kill, and he's thoroughly enjoying it.
So remember back, the Gray Man who was killed in the tower. Do you remember back that far back? I think that was in
Yes, I do.
Hunt. Yeah.
One that Tyene helped with or showed up for.
No, this was the Gray Man that was trying to kill Nynaeve and
Egwene in the hallway.
In the hallway, and then they tried to follow him, and then the Gray Man was found dead in Shiriam's bed.
Yeah.
And we were trying to figure out who killed the Gray Man. It was never confirmed. It was there's a suspicion about it. But
so it makes me wonder: did he kill our other friend?
Who?
What is his name? Rand's teacher.
Asmodean?
Yeah, Asmodean.
A Forsaken? That's interesting.
Why not?
Remember, Asmodean knew who it was.
And slide out. Yeah, and then he's clearly working for 3 other. Or no, he's not working for 3 other. He's working. I mean, he's working for him. So why not?
Everybody's working for him.
Yeah. And then he goes to greet his patron, who's one of the Forsaken, although I don't think it names which Forsaken it is. It greets him. And he's told not to try again until he's given destruction, which he's disappointed because he's looking forward to killing his nephew. So he becomes Isam again to go hunt wolves. And that's
right
how we end this chapter. But yeah. Kind of a little confusing, but
it was
flipping back and forth between 2 different characters and one character. But yeah. Isam.
It's a 2 for deal.
It's a 2 for.
I love a good BOGO.
Oh, who doesn't? So what are your thoughts about all this? Where do you think this is going? Where do you think Slayer's going? Where do you think this Slayer showed back up? He's been gone for so long.
Gives me
This
hope
is
about the return.
This is one of those interesting chapters where like you get some throwbacks and it's like, what are these people doing?
Gives me hope about the return of Moraine and Lanfear.
Yeah. Okay. They're bringing everybody else back. They might as well. I think my initial thought is we're finally starting to see things tie together. Okay. You know, that we're seeing people like, oh, fuck cat. Sorry.
We're seeing people fuck cats. What? that's
what kind of show is this?
We're seeing people fuck cats.
We are not reading the same thing, Chris. You must have fell asleep with the audiobook on and started adding some dream shit to that.
This one decides to go attack my feet because he wants attention. She does the smart thing. She just gets up here and sleeps behind me. He, on the other hand, has to have all the attention. If he's not getting it, he'll like roll and lay on my foot. And then if I don't bend down to pet him, he bites my foot. Oh, and now he wants to get away. Well, guess what? You're not. What was I saying? You broke my concentration, cat. Stay right.
Something about, I don't know.
Oh, we're finally starting to see things pieced together. We're starting to see people give orders. We're starting to be able to see how multiple people are pulling the strings of the very few that are out there attacking Rand. Like, we're also seeing that communication is the greatest in this book yet again. because they're all giving different orders to the same people. Like it's counterproductive. So
yeah,
that's what I gather.
Gotcha. Cool. Well, that's how we finish this chapter. I mean, there's not like a whole lot that happens. This book has a lot of rich chapters. It's a middle of the series. There's a lot of build up. We're over halfway done with this book. It's getting closer. Some new things happening. But what are overall thoughts about overall what's happening now? Where do you think we're going? What is happening? What is happening?
I would love for Bayle Doman to bail out Matt and get him out of there, but I just don't see that happening. I want it to, but I don't.
Okay.
We see Rand in a new place hunting people down while being hunted by them. He's finally married all 3 women, so I feel like we're at least going to get more from their connection on how they can help each other. He's also openly addressing and using Luz and his abilities because, like, for the people that he needs to find, Min was like, well, it'd be great if you could describe them. He's like, I don't have to describe them. I'll just draw you pictures. But I suck at drawing. But Luz doesn't. So he's now tapping into Luz. Like, it almost makes me think maybe, like, well, no, we know that's not true. I was going to say maybe he can be like Luke / whatever his name is,
Esam.
Slayer. But I feel like that's 2 different situations in my mind. But at the same time, he's tapping into Luz Theron. So if he can use Luz Theron's drawing ability, what other abilities is he going to be able to use? That's kind of where my mind went with that. And then who's going to track them down after they move and rile some stuff up is my last thought.
Okay. Any thoughts, Ian?
I'd like to see somebody at least, finally appreciate Matt for who he actually is and not who they think he should be or who they think he was, that they would just judge him by his actions and show him a little grace. Maybe he's not perfect, but I mean, he deserves to be loved still. He's a good guy.
Okay.
I think so. Be nice.
It's sweet. From the heart.
Yeah.
Favorite character?
The dragon.
The dragon.
Dragon D's nuts? No. I'm sorry.
Put that in the outro.
Sorry, my bad. How about our little mouse that's caught between the Seeker and Bayle Doman's woman?
Bethamine.
Yeah, I mean, she's in a tough spot, but she's even in the spot she's in, she's trying to put herself in the best position to make it through. Got to have some respect for that, even if she turns out to be not great.
Yeah,
I respect people's survival instincts and ability to survive in really shitty situations.
Sure.
I'm gonna give it to Rand this go around. So he actually displayed some real fighting ability, locking in that sword so it couldn't be drawn. Punching guy in the windpipe so he couldn't breathe. Essentially taking away his capacity to fight.
Yeah.
Sensing something happening behind him and dodging the one sword while retrieving the next. That whole fight scene was done very beautifully.
It was pretty smooth.
Yeah.
And he did all that. Sorry, but he did all that, like you mentioned earlier, that like he kind of rushed into it. Lost track of the footsteps. You know, he wasn't as careful as he could be leading into it, but once he engaged, he was smooth as shit. Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, sorry to jump on your thought like that.
No, you're good.
No worries. Favorite character?
Don't do it.
I'm not. Kisman, for just dying like a G. I don't know. This chapter is Egeanin. It's hard to pick who I actually enjoyed the most.
I thought you'd go with Bayle Doman.
I was gonna pick Bayle Doman, but I didn't really like Bayle Doman this chapter.
Why? Because he's putting his focus on his woman and not running out to sea immediately.
The flip flopping back and forth and kind of like it's not my favorite plot line for him.
Okay,
but yeah, it is what it is. It's whatever.
It is what it
is. So next week on the Will Reads, we'll be doing 3 chapters again. To Lose the Sun.
Ooh.
Among the Councils, plural councils, and bonds.
A little bondage.
Hey. Some bondage. So, chapter 23, 24, and 25.
I like it.
That's where we'll be at. So, any thoughts about that?
Think there's maybe dragons in these chapters.
Some dragons.
I won't do it again.
We're gonna get some moraine.
Dragging these nuts. Some moraine. Some more moraine. Okay. You've been asking for that for how many books now? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We got our unicorn. We'll get our moraine.
Okay. Anyways, so how we get found is at thewillofreads.com. It's our website where we have cool links to cool things like our merchandise, where you can buy t-shirts, all sorts of cool stuff, and t-shirts and good old frosty mugs and our merch plug. Also, you can find links to our Discord server, to our social media, Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it these days is where I post the most, even though I don't post much at all these days. Instagram, I just post memes whenever I feel like it. Not much recently, but I'll get back there. And Facebook, where once in a blue moon, I decide to actually do something with it. We're also on a bunch of other social media networks that I never post on. There's like a ton of them now. Like people made like a million. Like we're on Blue Sky. I don't even know what it is. Someone sent me an invite to it, so I'm on Blue Sky. The Reads has an account on Blue Sky and on Threads. And
no idea what those are.
We're there. You can follow us on those, but yeah, we're everywhere. So come check us out. Check out the website, write reviews, like and subscribe, do all that good stuff. Helps the algorithms, and all the good stuff. Write reviews. Love it when we get reviews and get to read those. Yeah. So I actually did make an outro video finally. So So that's about it. Thank you for watching The Wheel Reads.
Until next time.
Bye.
Get your Coast Guard certified life-saving device ready and strapped on.
Oh, where are we doing tonight?
What kind of strap on you talking about?